So, one of the most commonly asked things when I'm doing this whole weightlifting YouTuber style of vlogs is what does my cardio look like? Because a lot of time I don't really display my cardio in its full effect. Mainly because, like, I don't know. I feel like some parts of it are boring, some parts of it aren't very exciting. I mean, I yawn a lot. I'm like pretty tired most of the time when I'm doing stuff. So it's not really something that I like value showcasing to the world. But I figured I'd go ahead and make a kind of short video showing what I do on kind of a sleepy cardio day. And so first, I'm kind of stretching, pulling out my legs. I'll start with kind of like a downward stretch, then stretch to each side, then stretch straight down the middle, getting my legs all loose. I'll transition slowly onto my quads, fire up my calves, fire up my hamstrings, get my legs just kind of moving. Now, it is kind of good to note that you don't always need static stretches like this. I mean, if you're moving your legs a lot, you might want to do like some butt kicks or might want to like jump around and kind of get your legs moving more so than having them in a static stretch position. But for me, this is just what I've found is most effective. It's what I did before I had soccer games. And I did it in tandem with other like moving stretches, but I really like how deep you can get with static stretches. And most of the time I've had injuries has not been from stretching. No matter what kind, even if it's not the best kind of stretching for a moving cardio day, most of it is just from overworking my body. So don't ego lift, don't ego cardio when you do this stuff. But cardio, it's pretty light. You have to know your body's limits. You can't really take yourself past a point of failure every single cardio session. Sometimes it's just got to be light. Sometimes it's got to be kind of just free flowing. It's got to be when you have an hour in the day to kind of just sit down and let your body, perform to its greatest extent. That's sometimes where you'll find the most enjoyable cardio. I mean, in this series of shots, I was wearing AirPods, I was listening to some music, and sometimes that's what you need. Almost always on cardio, I'm listening to music, and I don't do that while I'm weightlifting, because when I'm weightlifting, I'm focused, I'm learning my body, I'm knowing everything of knowing every part of what I'm doing. However, when I transition to this part, when I'm stretching, when I'm getting, some treadmill in, when I'm getting the bike, when I'm getting other things, outside of just knowing my abs a little bit, I don't really need to stop listening to music in, kind of a very controlled way. I'm not building as much mind muscle connection with cardio. I'm moving through it and I'm trying to make it as enjoyable as possible. So the main thing I do before cardio is I work out abs because that's what cardio is all about, right? Eating right, moving well, kind of getting stuff, going. That's part of what grows good abs. And so abs, like any other muscle before you're doing cardio, you need to train your muscles before you train your endurance. Your body's going to run out of steam if you do cardio before you do muscle training. That's why I have cardio, coming last compared to everything else, or at least coming in between everything I do with abs. Right here, I'm doing leg raises. First set, I kind of focused on a little bit of slowed. I'm cutting this in between. This set, I was focused on explosiveness. You can kind of train different grips like I'm doing, train different speeds of what I'm doing, but what this is targeting is my lower abs. So that's what I have for lower abs. For middle abs, I kind of transition to a different form of ab exercise, but not before I hit my jump rope. Now, I love jump rope. I've talked about it on the channel before. Even on days when I've not shown it, jump rope is my jam. I just move, 5 extra jumps every single workout. Nothing crazy, but I've been doing jump rope for so long that I'm at like 320, something like that, 320 jumps. Rapidly, the more you do this exercise, you'll get quicker and quicker and quicker. And speeding it up, like you look like a demon. Look at that. I'm absolutely moving in this video. But do that for 3 sets of just that same limit that you've set for yourself. And jump rope, you can actually kind of train a lot to failure. And it's a good kind of practice that I like doing within my cardio routines to move from ab workout to cardio to let my abs catch a little bit of break but still be kind of fatigued from endurance training. And then I'll transition to my second ab exercise, which is my obliques. And then for middle abs, I don't do this on my cardio day. For middle abs, I do an ab wheel almost every day, maybe every other day or so, in my dorm room, depending on when I have time to grab it out. So here is my oblique workout. It was very bright when I was taking this video, but find yourself a spot that's more shady than this, and then I'm doing Russian twist. It takes me a second each time that I do this to get back in the rhythm of Russian twist, but you want to lean back as I'm slowly kind of leaning back further and further. Tilt as hard and like far away to your side as possible, and hold in those abs. Those obliques are going to be on fire. Even some of your middle abs will be on fire from this exercise, but it's really about that twist. I'm using heavier weight here because I've been using a Russian twist in my routine for as long as I can remember, like way back, maybe 3 years of doing Russian twists like that, maybe even four. But Russian twists are just a great builder, and once you get up to a heavy weight, you just train an even more intense kind of like curve to the side as you're doing this exercise. So that's what I'm practicing here. It's just very deep stretching, very lean back, very good control. My legs kind of move with me just because that's what I found is most comfortable for me. What you're really supposed to do is kind of stick them out as much as possible, but you can get that rhythm up to you. Here's me, third set, complete rhythm, complete lean back control. This is where I'm getting the most benefit out of this exercise. So really good work today. Happy with those ab exercises. Now it's time to move on to the meat and bones of cardio. Now is when, after I've had my jump rope and everything, I do cool down on the bike. And so on the bike, that's the time when I kind of check my phone, check notifications, check school emails, text people back. And I was texting a lot of people back today. I had maybe 5 or 6 messages I had to reply to. I'm definitely a long texter when I text people back, so the cool down on bike is very, very good for me. I do about 5 minutes on bike here, and this was after I actually did 20 minutes on the treadmill. I'll probably make it its own YouTube short in the future of how I go through my treadmill. But treadmill is pretty simple. Bike you might not see most people do, but bike is definitely something I recommend in the cardio routine just to kind of keep something different. Because bike helps get your legs cooled down after a long treadmill session before you kind of move on to the killer of most people's workouts, except for maybe a wall cup girls. It's the Stairmaster. Now, a lot of gym bros hate the Stairmaster for some reason, but in my cardio routine, I actually it's pretty revered to me. I'm on 10 speed right here, and that's actually the speed that I've worked myself up to, 10 minutes on 10 speed, and just, maybe having 5 or 6 workouts at a certain speed until your body gets used to it, driving those knees up. This is what's going to really help develop your calves, because sometimes, even if you're on the edge of that stair, that's driving your calves up, that's building more strength in them, and yeah, that's pretty much a complete cardio routine for me. I really enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed this different style of video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.